Hello. There we go.
Fantastic.
There we go. So if we all say hello and then we can all mute ourselves, that would be brilliant.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know if I can mute myself. Mandy, do you usually mute us?
I can mute you, Carol.
I have
the power. I have the power, Carol.
Don't mute me. Don't mute me.
There you are. You just jumped up. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome, ladies, to this Friday night session. We've not done a Friday night sing-song or session, have we? Mary's going to go through loads of techniques and singing, and she's got videos and presentations. She promises to do it in an hour.
Yeah. I might go quite quickly over some things, so please stop or put in the chat, or if you want to ask me anything afterwards. But as I say, I've got quite a lot I want to cover, so I will probably just move more swiftly than I normally would, if that's all right, because I just want to kind of show you some of the things I've done. So shall I just crack on,
Yeah,
Mandy?
just crack on. That would be brilliant.
Okay, welcome everybody. I say I'm Mary Keith. I do know a couple of you, and it's lovely to see you. This is being recorded, so hopefully people can catch up as well on YouTube. So if you miss anything, you can watch it again. I'm just going to focus in this session on my work with choirs, pre and post-pandemic. I've worked quite a lot in different areas of music, composing, whatever, but I think I just need to focus on choirs and group singing. I'm an accidental choir leader. I never really intended to become one. I sang in choirs as a child. My mother sang in choirs, and then I ended up doing some music for it was Horse and Bamboo Theatre, actually doing a big thing at Westminster Abbey on Good Friday, and I had to work with a choir for that, and thought, oh, this is quite fun. And then got another big commission from Pentabus Theatre called Precious Bane, and that was the sort of the beginning of it, really. And the Mere singers that took part in Precious Bane are still going now, 20 years old next year, which is very scary. So as I say, it's all a bit accidental. I never intended to be a choir mistress, and I learnt on the hoof. And I have currently 3 singing groups: the Mere Singers, based in Shrewsbury, the Keel Women's Community Choir at Keel University, and then I have one called the Morning Sun Singers, which is based in my village here in Welshhampton. We used to meet at the Boathouse in Ellesmere, but we had to move from there, and we always go for a coffee at the Sun Inn in Welshhampton, so the Morning Sun seemed to be a good name for us, and that's more of a drop-in group. So that's really where I'm at with my singing groups. Keel Women are 10 years old this year, and the Morning Sun is probably 4 years old. So they're all kind of fairly well established, and they are a great source of regular income for me, okay, as well as all the other benefits from having a choir. And for me, with the singing groups, it's all about accessibility. There is no auditioning to be done in the choirs. Anybody can come and sing, and I usually teach by ear. If people want music occasionally, I provide it, but it's all about accessibility. So when the pandemic arrived on our doorstep, I was suddenly faced with this situation where I was going to lose a very large part of my income, and also I was going to lose my communities, you know, because I think a choir is a community. It's a group of people that come together and share something, and it's very, very special. And so basically I sort of adapted 2 different ways of working. Just before lockdown happened, I kind of sensed things were going to go a little bit awry, and I set up something called a Patreon. And a Patreon is an American company, actually, and it's a bit like a patronage scheme. So people sign up, and you offer certain levels of service within that, and I just decided to offer one thing, which was I would offer a song a day at the beginning of the lockdown. So I had no idea really what I was doing. I just thought, okay, let's just see if people sign up, if they pay about the same amount that they would pay if they were coming to my choir, they'd get a song, they'd get a teaching video, they'd get a little performance video, and they could then learn some songs and be part of this online community. I'd never made a video in my life. I'd never done anything like it before. It was totally scary, but I just had this kind of just urged, this is what I have to do. So I set that up, not really thinking what I'd do with it. And then suddenly we were in lockdown. So I had this set ready to go. And so automatically people, I think, realizing that they were all going to be stuck at home, a lot of people started signing up, which was great. But I was also then aware that my choirs, you know, some people didn't want to do the online stuff. People didn't want to access it like that. And so I had to find ways of keeping the choirs together. So basically the two ways of doing that were Facebook Live, which is what the Mere Singers opted for. And that was interesting that they opted for that, because Facebook Live, unlike Zoom, is that you cannot see the people that you are working with. So they can see me, I can't see them. And the only reason I know they're there is you get a little prompt saying when someone's entered, and they can use the chat. But actually regularly I would have, you know, the full quota of 30-35 singers every week on there, because it'd always tell me how many were in there. And the little comments all the way through the session, people saying, oh yeah, we love this one, oh yes, can you do that bit again? So I kind of sensed they were joining in, but whether they were or not, I don't know. But it didn't matter. So that was one thing, Facebook Live. And I did give them options if they wanted to do Zoom and see each other. No, we don't want to see anyone. We just want to sing, Mary. Whereas the Keel choir said, we want to do Zoom. They were a smaller group. They met every week and we would chat and sing and explore, you know, voices and things. So they were the sort of three things I do really. Well, I did at the beginning of lockdown and managed to sort of keep going really. The Boathouse Singers, as was then, didn't keep going in any kind of online form. Some of them joined the Patreon, and actually when we were allowed to sing outside, we met in a car park in Ellesmere, which was actually the most beautiful car park because it's surrounded by wildflowers and looks across the mere. And so that was a joy. And very usefully, there were some posts all around the car park. They were exactly 2 meters apart, which is at that point we had to stand 2 meters apart. So hopefully, yes. So some of those people managed to keep going with the Patreon. So what I'm going to do in this session, I'm going to now do a short little vocal session with you, as I might do if I was doing with my choirs online. I'm going to use a mixture of some pre-recorded backings and I'm going to do a little bit of breathing, a little bit, and then there's a little bit of video, and then I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Patreon and play you a little demonstration of some of the things I did with that. So please, if you want to sort of, you know, ask me anything, use the chat, you know, put your hand up or whatever. I'm going to just keep on a roll, if that's okay. So imagine you've just entered my choir rehearsal room. You're here and we're going to sing. We are a singing community, okay? We are the little COVID after 19 choir for the evening, and we are going to become an instant community. That's what I love about a choir. It creates an instant community. We breathe together, we make sound together, we inhabit all those lovely vibrations. But unfortunately, when you're in an online world, we don't really get the benefit of the vibrations that you get in the real world. The other thing I should say is I was very keen to keep my working practices very similar to how I would in the real world, and that is everything is a cappella, unaccompanied. Don't use pianos. I do have one here. If all else fails, I can go to the piano if the sound doesn't work. But I wanted to keep that feeling that we're singing a cappella. And so to do that, I used pre-recorded backing tracks, and that was a great thing actually, but it did mean I had to be much more organized. I couldn't just say, oh, let's do such and such a song, because I had to have it lined up, you know, so I couldn't really just drop in on any song. But and I'm never very good at being organized, as some of you, well, June will maybe bear with me soon, but I just, you know, I had to be much more organized about that. But I wanted people to feel that they were still singing. And the beauty of using the pre-recorded backings was that I made them in advance, and then the singing was always in tune and in time. Unlike in the real world when the choir might get it wrong or they might be a bit out of tune. So that for me was actually quite nice in some ways. It's like, oh, it all sounds fine, you know, it's all in tune. And then of course you go back into the real world and realise you do have to sort of, you know, work on the parts a bit more. But anyway, I think we got there, and I think people hopefully did get something out. So if you're sitting, you've welcomed you into the room. I would normally stand, but if I stand, I'm going to disappear. So I'm going to sit up, and please feel free to, you know, partake how you want. But always start with a little bit of a physical. So if you'd like to just give your shoulders a roll, we hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, especially if you're sitting at a desk all day working. If you're driving, you might have driven quite a long way to get to choir practice. Shoulders hold a lot of tension. Okay, so I would do the similar thing with knees and with hips as well, but we'll just work on the shoulders because we're all sitting. And when you're doing the shoulder rolls, you just do a little hum. And you can roll them the other way and you can go ooh. And you can bring your shoulders up to your ears and you can hold them there. You can feel that tension and you're going to let it drop with a sigh. Ah. Now the neck transfers all this energy, all this information from the body up to the brain. So again, we just need to make sure that is nice and relaxed. So we're just going to take the neck on a horizontal plane, just going to look over one shoulder. And you're going to feel the stretch on the side of the neck, and then you're going to bring it slowly back. And you're going to feel the stretch on the other side, and that feels nice. And then you're going to bring it back to the middle, and you're going to look to the floor, and you'll feel the stretch going down to the floor. And you'll bring it back up. I'd probably do this a little bit slower in the real world. And then you bring your head up and look at the ceiling and give a kiss to the ceiling. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Let's have a little kiss there. 3 kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And that's just increasing that stretch down the front of the neck. So there were just a few little kind of warm-up things we like to just to make sure we're comfortable. And while you're sitting, just making sure your rib cage is elevated, shoulders relaxed, neck is sitting nice and straight on the head there. So I'm just going to work a little bit on some breathing. Nasal breathing is very important, breathing through the nose. So if I'm encouraging you to breathe in, I'd like you to breathe in through your nose. Nasal breathing is brilliant because the nose produces nitric oxide, not to be confused with nitrogen dioxide or nitrous oxide. Nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. So it actually helps relax the blood vessels and increases oxygen flowing through the body. So, and also nitric oxide is an antifungal, antibacterial, antiparasitic and antiviral thing. The nose acts as a filter, so it filters out lots of allergens. When you breathe through your nose, you're adding moisture to the air, okay, and that's a good thing. You're not drying out your vocal cords, and that helps prevent dryness in your bronchial tubes and in your lungs, so you're humidifying your breath. It also warms the air up as you breathe in through your nose, so you're not getting an intake of cold air straight into your throat, which could make you cough. And it also adds resistance to the airstream, and that increases the oxygen uptake by maintaining lung elasticity. It helps you slow breathing down when you breathe through the nose, and it strengthens the diaphragm, as I said, and it reduces the risk of coughing, because when you breathe in through your nose, you're not getting that cold air straight into the throat, which could make you cough. So I always encourage people to breathe in through the nose. So just take a little, I mean, there are various kind of yogic nose breathing, but if you want to just take your thumb and put it on your right nostril, okay, and then keep your pointer finger, and then just going to breathe in through your left nostril. Hold that breath and then close off the left nostril and release the right one and breathe out. So you're breathing in through one nostril and out through the other. Then breathe in through the right nostril. Close that one off and open the other one, and then breathe it out. So you're just alternating. Do another one of those. So whichever way you like, left or right, doesn't matter. But you're breathing in through one and then breathing out through the other. So breathe it in, breathe it out. One more, breathe it in and out. Fantastic. Okay, so they say I would encourage my singers to breathe in through the nose and suspend the breath. So rather than, I don't like using the word hold, because hold implies tension. So you breathe in through the nose. So you're going to breathe in through both nostrils. Breathe it in. Just suspend that breath and then out with a yawn. And when you're yawning, just really make sure your jaw is relaxed. Okay. Doesn't matter what you sound like, doesn't matter what you look like, you're just going to relax that jaw. So breathe in through the nose, suspend the breath, and then out with a yawn. And have a little croak at the bottom. That's your vocal cords. They're vibrating at their very slowest vibration. That's called a vocal fry. It's a useful little technique just to start warming your voice up. It relaxes the vocal cords, it relaxes the throat. Sounds horrible, but actually it's doing lots of lovely relaxing things. Okay, so then a little breathing out thing. I did mention if you did have a straw, but don't worry if you don't. And this is called SOVT, semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. And this is sort of a bit of a buzzword at the moment. And it's basically all you're trying to do is create a little bit of back pressure in the throat to open up and relax the vocal cords. So if you've got a straw, fantastic. If you haven't, don't worry. But basically what you're doing, breathing in and then breathing out through the straw, humming out. You can do it without the water. And if you haven't got a straw, you can do it through your teeth or with your lips with a kind of V sound. So imagine you're saying the word V and you're just going to breathe in and go. So what you're doing, as I say, you're kind of semi-occluding the vocal tract, semi-stopping it, but just it creates a little bit of back pressure and opens up the vocal cords. So you can do that with the sound zh, zh, zh. You can do it with the straw, which could get a bit messy. Yeah. So just going to siren that. Let's do it on the V sound, then we're all working together. So breathe in through the nose. So you're just sirening and just follow my hand up and down. Try it on the zh sound this time. So breathe it in. So that's hopefully just starting to get us working with the pitch and getting those vocal cords nice, relaxed, and we've got the breath engaged as well. I'm just going to take that straight into a little song and we're just going to breathe in. Breathe in, breathe out. This is a short little song called It's Okay to Stop. And this is by Rachel, forget her name right, Rachel Hilton. And it was just a little song she did when she was feeling quite kind of, in fact, I'll quickly say, she was feeling a little bit stressed, really. She was feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, her chest felt tight. She went for a walk, told herself to breathe in and breathe out. After a while, she was singing breathe in, breathe out to herself. The rhythm and the flow of the melody forcing her to slow the breath down. And then she kept telling herself, it's okay to stop. It's just for a while. So this was just not one of my songs, but one I learned through another little online singing group called Singing Mamas. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to play it. And I think because we haven't got a lot of learning time, just join in on the breathe in, breathe out. And she likes you to imagine a kind of expansion of an accordion and contracting. Breathe in, breathe out. And we're going to add a high harmony and a low harmony. You'll hear those where they come. And then there's a little tune over the top. It's okay to stop. It's okay to close your eyes. Breathe for a while. But as I say, if you want to just do the breathing, I think that will be lovely. So here we go. It's a very short little one. It goes like this. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe. You can sing higher. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe. Or you can add a low harmony if you'd rather. Breathe in, breathe out, and keep that going. Breathe in, breathe, and the tune is on the top. It's okay to stop. It's okay to close your eyes. It's okay to stop and breathe for keep the breathing going. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Great. Okay, so hopefully you're just feeling that lovely relaxing, not worrying too much about the harmony, particularly there's very simple 2 notes going on there. We can add high and low. Suddenly you get something that's a little bit more than the sum of its parts. So I'm going to play a little, I'm going to screen share now. I'm going to play a little video of a song I wrote called Singing on Zoom, which is what we're doing. Okay. And all you need to do, there's 3 of me on the screen. As if that wasn't enough. Follow the one in the top. Okay, not the big Mary, follow the one in the top. The words should be on the screen, but it's just a little song called Singing on Zoom, and there's some little actions we draw. Describe the little box you're in. That was quite fun doing a bit of that, just finding some actions. This is just trying to find ways of engaging the singers on Zoom. So this is called Singing on Zoom, and actually when we went back in the room, I rewrote it as singing, we're back in the room. So there are 2 versions of this song. And this is on YouTube if you did want to find it again. So I'm going to screen share, hopefully do this right. Mandy has enabled me to do this. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I'm going to minimize you guys. So follow the Mary in the top. Hopefully you should just be able to do it as a call and response. And then there's some little chorus bits. Here we go. We're singing on Zoom. We're singing on Zoom. In our own living room. We're singing to our own faces in our fantastic places at home. We're singing on Zoom. We're singing on Zoom. In our own living room. We're singing to our own faces in our domestic spaces at home. But we hope that soon. We hope that soon. We'll be back in the room. We won't be singing this tune when we can hear each other singing when we're all back in the room. Here's the chorus again. We're singing on Zoom. We're singing on Zoom. In our own living room. We're singing to our own faces in our domestic spaces at home. We miss the vibrations. We miss the vibrations. Musical conversations. We love that singing sensation when we can hear each other sing the tune. We're all back in the room. Here comes the chorus again. We're singing on Zoom. We're singing on Zoom. In our own living rooms. We're singing to our own faces in our domestic spaces at home. Next verse. Here we can be seen, singing to our screens. We miss the harmonies. Hear each other singing when we're all back in the room. Here's the chorus again. We're singing on Zoom. We're singing on Zoom. In our own living room. We're singing to our own faces in our domestic spaces at home. We're singing on Zoom. We're singing on Zoom. In our own living room. We're singing to our own faces in our domestic spaces at home. How'd you get on? Hope you had a little sing along with that one. I say, sorry, if you're trying to watch me and look at the lyrics at the bottom, probably not so easy. But as I say, that was one that we sort of developed really just as a way of getting people singing. We did it as a call and response. Obviously took a bit more time learning it. I've just got one more tiny little vocal exercise I like to do. I like to work people's brains. I think, you know, especially if you're sitting at home a lot. And so this is just a little scale exercise which will hopefully lead in quite nicely to one of the other songs I like to do. And this is called 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1, and it's just counting up a scale. And you just sing. So hopefully some of you might have done this with me before, but we can have a lot of fun with this. There's all sorts of things you can add claps into it. You can do it in canon, but as much as anything, it just wakes the brain up, and it also is very good for working your articulators, your teeth, your tongue, your lips, all those things that go towards making the voice work better. And it also helps with pitching, so you're working up and down a scale. Have a little listen, you'll get the hang of it. Hopefully it goes like this. 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Now that's quite quick, and I apologise. It's probably quicker than I would normally do it on a first date, but I just think we just need to kind of move through things quickly. But basically all you're doing, it's like taking one step, then going back to one again, then you're taking 2 steps, back to one again, then 3 steps. So we'll just do that one more time, and then I'm going to put it in a canon. So you just keep singing your 1 1 2 1, and you'll hear another Mary singing it in canon. There might even be 2 canon parts going on with this. Here we go. Are you ready in 2? Here we go. 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. And if you got through that, well done. Then we might have a bit of fun. I might get a dice. I might roll a dice. I haven't got my dice here, but imagine my dice, and my dice says number 3. And that means that every time we get to number 3, we're going to clap on the number 3. So let's just do that, okay? So every time you sing 3, you're going to clap. So now you're really starting to work your coordination and everything. So one more time, just keep going through those numbers, and we're going to clap on the number 3s. Are you ready? Here we go. 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Great, okay, so that's one of my favourite little warm-ups. And then we could add another number that you maybe tap your knees on, and then you can turn it around. You can start at the top. 8 8 7 8 8 7 6 7 8. You can do that. So maybe not so relaxing, that one, Mandy, as the breathing one. But I think it's always good to keep the singer's brains going, and keeping those going. So I think for the moment that I'm going to leave that as a little vocal warm-up. I'm going to talk for about just a little bit about the Patreon, and then I'm going to play you one of the song teaching songs from the Patreon, and then you can put to use all this lovely singing that you've just done. So if that's okay, I'm going to screen share again. As I say, the Patreon was as I say, it's a way of kind of getting patrons, basically patronage. So people sign up for it. Some artists do it. They have different levels of patronage. So you can pay like a basic £3 a month, and you get like one thing a month. You can pay £5, £10. I just did one basic level, and I posted, as I say, a song a day. initially, and then I realized that was quite unsustainable, and I then went to doing a song a week with occasional kind of little weekend specials as well. But I'd never made a video before really, and I had to upload things onto YouTube, and so that was all quite a big learning curve for me, and just trying to find ways of making it interesting, and also wanting to keep the songs traditional songs, so there was no copyright issue, and also all my own songs, so they were arrangements of traditional songs or they were my own songs, and then I would just try to think, how can I make this visually interesting, because obviously, you know, people having to look at the screen, they want something nice to look at. So I would often go out for a walk and film while I was out walking, took loads of photos during lockdown, used a lot of those, added those into the and I think one of the first outdoor ones I didn't even have a selfie stick. This is how limited I was. I taped my phone to a drumstick and I sort of held it up and walked around, and luckily where I live I can walk from any direction out from my house, and there's beautiful countryside, so actually that was just such a tonic to be. I know I'm privileged in that respect, but just to be able to go out, and so I would often be walking and the song would come to me, and sometimes then I would just teach, you know, record myself doing it, come back home, upload it onto iMovie, make a little performance video that you could then sing along with. So I say I have got a little sort of shortened version of one of those, but what I'm going to do is just play you a little sort of promotional video I made that shows some of the techniques I used in the Patreon, some of the things I did. It wasn't just about me teaching songs. Sometimes people would suggest a song to me, sometimes people would actually send a little recording in of them, like I was walking and I sang, this little song came into my head, can you do something with it? And so then I would do something with it. And then I also linked up with other song leaders from around the world. I had one in America, various other singers who would suggest, you know, I sort of did a song swap. So I said, can I use your song on my Patreon and I'll give you a song in return. So that became a very nice way of kind of opening out and using other original songs that maybe wouldn't have got an airing. So I say I'm going to just play the little Patreon promotional video. It's about 4 minutes, so I hope that's all right, but it'll just give you a bit of a whistle stop tour of what I was trying to do with this Patreon, and I ran it for a whole year, and then we were sort of back in the real world, and I just felt actually I've had enough of running this now. I probably could have kept it going. I think, you know, I still had quite a few patrons on there, but I think in terms of my own, you know, artistic feelings, I just felt, you know, it's done what it needed to do, and I'd learned all these lovely techniques, I'd learned how to put things, so I'm still uploading things onto YouTube. I'm just not monetizing it anymore, whereas with Patreon I could make some kind of living. So let me just screen share. I'll just find this video for you, and then just sit back, pour yourself a little drink if you like, and I'll just play the Patreon promotional video, and I'm hoping my brothers are on it now. Okay, here we go. Hello, I've got something a little bit different for you today. This is a song that was sent to me by one of the Community of Song members, Carol Goodhue. And it's just really lovely that Carol sent this song. It was just a little phone recording she put of a little idea that came into her head when she was out walking. My spirits lifted. Took a walk, my spirits lifted. Followed this mountain. How come living in didn't know this part before. The folks out walking, singles, couples, small groups too, weaving footsteps now on the cusp. This pandemic will get through. Based on a poem by Langston Hughes, and it's one of those little layering pieces that I really like, and it's quite free flowing and fluid like rain. Let the rain kiss you. Let the rain sing you a lullaby. Let the rain beat upon your dress. Let the rain be be really nice to do a couple of canoeing songs. Whoa, yelay, yelay, whoa, yelay, 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 whoa, yelay, yelay, whoa, yelay, yelay, whoa, yelay, 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 whoa, yelay, 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 moi, homé à moi, homé à moi, homé à moi, Maya, homé à moi, Maya, is rising now. I feel the warmth of it. And it's an example of mouth music, or kuat abuel, which is a way of using nonsense syllables, sung syllables, to provide a accompaniment to dancing, basically. Horo harodal hinji harodal, horo harodal hinji horo harodal, horo harodal hinji hamdam. Dance to your shadow when it's good to be living Latin. Dance to your shadow when there's nothing better near you. Dance to your shadow when it's fine to be living Latin. Dance to your shadow when there's nothing better near you. Why don't you sing along with me? Sing along with me. Why don't you sing along with me? Sing along with me. Sundow's brighter days, Sundow's blue sky. Okay, so I don't know if anyone does want to make any quick comment at this point, but that was a sort of a real like whistle stop of a year of what I was sort of trying to do with the Patreon, and just showing some of the ways I was working, involving my family quite often. That was my daughter Billy in the canoe, and sometimes I had Gav, her dad, and her boyfriend as well, so I could get 4-part harmony occasionally when we were all out on a canoe trip. So we did quite a few in canoes and walking up back lanes and things, so that was really lovely to involve them in it. It gave me a bit more scope, because otherwise it was just me talking to a camera. So so I'm going to follow that with another little video, and this is a song that I taught, and I'm just going to play it, and you can learn the song. You don't even need me to be here on the screen, and it's me teaching it, and it's a song, it's a very old English song called Come Follow. It's a round, and I've done a sort of slightly shortened version of it, but I just thought, you know, have a little sing along, because this is what, as I say, I would be giving people. Obviously people would have the videos and then they could come back to them. They didn't have to learn it all in one quick little 4-minute session. They could come back to it, but as I say, this is just to show a little bit about how I was working. So this is a song called Come Follow, and please learn the song. You can sing along with me. I do invite you to sing, so it's a bit of call and response, which is how I would do it in the room. I'd sing a line and then I ask my singers to sing back. So and probably halfway through this I'm going to have to go and plug my computer in, because my battery's getting a little bit low, so if I suddenly disappear, that's all I'm doing. But I say it's about 4 minutes long, but you'll learn the song with me. And apologies, June, because I think you probably know this one, but it'll be nice for you to learn it again if you don't remember it. So let me just bring it up. And this happened to be a very glorious day when I went out to record this one, so I was obviously feeling in the mood. So let me just share my desktop. Follow, 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 follow me. So there's a little song, a very early English song for you today, and it's around. The words are come follow, follow me to the greenwood tree, and I found a lovely greenwood tree in the middle of the fields here. It's a little bit windy, and there's a tractor doing some tractor business in the field next door, but I thought I'd do it from here. And come follow me to the greenwood tree. So it's a little 3-part round. It's got a really nice little interweaving of parts when it goes into a round. So line 1, come follow, 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 follow me. Come follow, 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 follow me. we're just doing that nice down the scale. Come, follow, 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 follow me. And then we work back up the scale a little bit quicker. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Carry on up. Whither would I follow, follow thee? So quite a complex little line, that one. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Carrying on up. Whither would I follow, follow thee? Which takes us back up to the top note again. So from the beginning we have come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow thee? And where would you follow you to? To the greenwood tree. So our last line just overshoots our top note a little bit. To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. And that's the whole song. So I say quite a tricky little one, but a really nice little melody to get your head into. So here we go, I'll sing it all the way through. And come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow thee? To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. What a glorious day to be out looking for the greenwood trees. Thank you very much. I'll see you all later. Bye. And now you get to sing it with me in 3. Come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow thee? To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. Come, follow, 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 follow. If you want to do the round, you can follow one of the other Marys. Follow, 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 follow me. Come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow thee? To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. Come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow thee? To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. Come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither would I follow, follow, follow? Whither would I follow, follow thee? To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. Come, follow, follow, follow. Ready to finish now, lovey. Follow, 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 follow me. How'd you get on? You can unmute if you like. If anyone want to say unmute. Did you have
Yes.
a go at singing along?
Well, I just want to say I was one of your patrons for the whole time.
Yeah.
And you were just so lovely and so natural. All your songs, I just loved every day. It really lifted
Thank you.
spirits.
Thank you, June. And you're here again today to get even more, so that's really nice. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think as much as anything, it was good for me to do it because I suddenly had lost focus, you know, and actually knowing every day I had to produce a little 10-15 minute teaching video. So I'd slightly shortened that one just for the purpose of tonight.
Yeah.
But it got me out and it got me creating and thinking, how can I make this more interesting for people? I could just stand in front of my screen in my room here and present it like that.
You had the most wonderful settings. They were just so gorgeous. Those
it's just
the countryside and the canal and everything. It's beautiful.
Which, you know, I've taken for granted. Lived here, 20 years, and actually I discovered so many more paths walking. And I'd always take my phone with me, and I think this is where technology is just brilliant. I didn't really realise I had within my desktop computer I had all the technology I needed to be able to do this. I had iMovie, which is a simple video editing. I'd never used it before, but you can just upload photos into that, and then you can just make lovely little lyric videos, and you can put the text on it, and you can put in bits of real, you know, film as well. And suddenly all those things started to open out. And then I say that in the little Patreon promo I showed you, the little dancing shadows, I just asked people, send me yourself a picture of your shadow dancing. It doesn't have to be in any particular rhythm or anything. And then I just made that little, the song was called Dance to Your Shadow. It's actually a little Gaelic Puerto Boyle song, which is mouth music, and it would be this nonsense words used for dancing. But it was just lovely to have other people contributing. So, you know, people didn't have to be singers to take part in some of the things I did. So it was really just trying to keep myself motivated. And people occasionally, I remember one person, it was coming up to the spring equinox, and someone said, have you got a song about, like, you know, spring cleaning? And I'm just like, no, I don't. But I wrote one, and I went around my house and found
remember it.
The Shortening Night, it was called, and it was about just, you know, the days getting longer and the nights getting shorter, and just cleaning your house out. And I went around the house and found brushes and brooms and mops and things, and made a little video featuring all the little cleaning implements in the house. And so, you know, if I hadn't had that little prompt from Sarah on that one, then I would have, you know, wouldn't have done that one. So creating new songs, which I can then come back to, you know, and hopefully we've got the equinox coming up, I will come back to that song. And as I say, quite often people send in little prompts, little suggestions, and I'm going to finish, well, obviously I've got two more little things I can play. I'm going to finish with a lovely little song. Sometimes I would get people to send in their voices as well. I know some people, for this was quite a challenge, I think, for some people, not in terms of technology, but I think when you sing in a choir, you're buried within all the lovely sound, and you'll blend, and you don't really focus so much on your own voice. When you are asked to record your own voice on your phone, you suddenly go, oh god, is that what I sound like, you know? And I've kind of got used to hearing my voice now, just because I've had to. But actually I know for some people that was quite I can't send that into Mary, you know, you can't possibly want to use that. But as I say, you know, we're all, you know, a choir is made up of all sorts of different voices, and, you know, in the real world it would accommodate your voice, so why shouldn't it in the online world? And so we did do a few with both my choirs. We did do a few of these little you know, for virtual choirs. I wasn't good at doing the videos. I know people can do the very clever things with all the live action videos of people singing, so I tended to use photographs, but it was just a nice way of sort of keeping a check on people that they are actually doing the singing as much as anything. So they would have to learn a part at home and then sing, you know, record them on their phone, and then I would put it all together. Just using my Mac, I used a program called GarageBand, which is just the basic software on a Mac. Comes standard on a Mac, and you can then just start to layer up all those voices, and you suddenly got a choir. And the very first time I did it, it was actually a really emotional moment, because I hadn't heard real people singing for quite a few weeks, and I did it, and I got all these little random people sending in their parts, started putting them all together, and it was actually like, oh my goodness, there's my choir, they're back. It was actually quite a tear-jerking moment. So I'm going to play you one of those. I'm actually going to play the one from the Keel Women's Choir, because it kind of covers lots of other little things as well. So one of the Keel women posted a poem called Seascape, and Seascape was really just about being fed up of being stuck in the Midlands. She lives sort of in Stoke, and just wanting to see the sea. And I think that was one of the things with lockdown, you know, I mean, I'm quite lucky here in the country, but I guess if you're in quite a built up area, you know, you're craving just getting out. And so her poem is just a little 3-verse poem about wanting to get out and see the sea. So I just saw this poem, and one of the Keel women, she put it on our Facebook page, and one of the other Keel women said, oh, that would make a lovely song. So I thought, okay, I've hit a little challenge here. So I set it, and we learnt it in the Zoom sessions, and then again singers recorded their voices, sent it in. And I also asked everybody to send me a photo of the sea, so everyone sort of went back through their kind of back catalogues of photos, got lots of lovely photos of the sea. But I thought, I need something else here. I need something to contrast these pictures of the sea. And around this time, a friend of mine, in fact, Lorraine, you know, Tony Weatherall, a lovely friend of ours, who was posting every day a photo of urban Stoke, interestingly, but very beautiful images of kind of decay and old brickwork and the old canal. So I just thought, well, this is brilliant. That's what I need those photos. So I asked him and he was very happy. So there was another little collaboration went on there. So it kind of came together as a little piece, really. As I say, I'm not brilliant at all the tech, and I just kind of cobbled the voices together. There's some harmonies, and there's even a little bit of film towards the end. So I'm going to play that. Is that all right? And there is a chorus. You're welcome to sing. The chorus just goes, the words are, my heart longs for the sea, and it's 4 times. My heart longs for the sea. 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 So that's the chorus, and if you want to join in on that, you'll be very, very welcome. As I say, this is the Keel Women's Choir, and they, I think because they were a smaller group, I did a few more little recording things with them. They were slightly easier to manage, I think, just because there were less of them. But as I say, it was just a really lovely collaboration on all fronts, really, and just showed, you know, what we could do. Yes, we can't meet in the room, but actually we can create, you know, a new song, we can record it, we can still be a choir. So I am just going to find it, and it's not lined up where it should be, so I will bring it up now. And I'll screen share it, and please join in. This is a little bit more relaxing than the Come Follow On. It's a little bit more gentle, but as I say, fantastic photography from the choir members and from Tony Weatherall. So here we go. Let's share my screen one more time and bring up Seascape. My heart Thank you. There you go. So hopefully that gave you a little sort of snapshot really of what I did in lockdown and how it's kind of informed what I'm doing now. You know, I did a big project in the autumn, an outdoor performance, and I was aware some people didn't want to come to rehearsals indoors. People were still quite nervous about that. So I made videos and taught all the songs so people could learn them at home, and then they could turn up and take part in the performance, which was in Carding Valley, a project called Dark Fest. And it was just lovely to have that sort of blended approach, which I'd never even thought of before. And I can create scores as well, and send MP scores and audio recordings, so people can access it in any ways they like then. And then they can turn up. We turned up, had about 50 singers in Cardingmill Valley in the dark. But it was just lovely to use all these skills that I'd used learned in lockdown. I'd never done it before. So I think, you know, in some ways it was a mixed blessing. It was certainly a steep learning curve, but I think, you know, come out the other side, and I've still got choirs. They're still there and they still want to sing. So thank you very much. I don't know if anyone's got any questions, or if you want to. You're probably a bit breathless after all that. I think I've probably tried to fit too much in, but so it is on. It will be on YouTube if you wanted to catch up. So hopefully you've managed to glean something from it. And my YouTube channel, hopefully Mandy will put a link up.
Yeah, I will do.
Please subscribe to it, because all the videos are on there. There's, you know, 150 odd from the Patreon. Some of them I've unlisted, some of them for various reasons, if I wasn't that happy with them, or if I felt there might be a copyright issue. But I noticed one of them was actually had an an over 18 rating, which is a song called Bum Dalida, which is a kind of Israeli nonsense song. Bum Dalida. I don't know if it's the repeating of the word bum, but anyway, I noticed it had an over 18 rating on it. I thought, oh, that's brilliant. So
one of the other sessions that we did earlier on in the year was called Jabs with Sal Tong.
Oh, I've worked with Sal.
And I tried to post that on the long COVID support group, and they rejected it because it contained the word jabs.
Really?
Yeah, they wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't let it go through just because it said jabs.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So, but you know, if you wanted, they're on there, and if you want to learn any songs with me, please do. You can do it online, or you can come along to any of our real life choirs. So thank you, and it's been really nice actually, kind of being made to think about this, really, Mandy. You know, as I say, I've gone back into the real world now, but actually I've been very reflective about what the past, you know, year and a half, 2 years has done for me, and in some ways it's great. I've shed work that I didn't want, and learnt new skills. That means I can then focus on the things I would rather be doing. And I think, yes, actually what I'd rather be doing is, you know, making
music.
Which is what I was doing anyway, but you know, I'm more on my own terms, really. So, you know, it was a mixed blessing, and I know that's not been for everybody, and certainly it was not always as easy as it sounds, you know, and I was, you know, it was challenging for me, but I think, you know, I was at a stage where I wasn't having to home educate children, and thankfully, and they were on hand to, you know, Finley, my son, was quite often there filming for me as well. So yeah. So thank you for being there, giving up your Friday nights. I know it's been a bit funny.
No, it's been great. That last song made me really emotional because I've been housebound since I came out of hospital. I do crave the sea, and I have this longing to be by the sea, and because where I live is just like so landlocked and it's miles from the sea.
Yeah.
I just have this longing to be by the sea.
Yeah, well, I said that was exactly what Angela was obviously so I hope you get there. I hope you get
hope so. So
the weather picks up a bit. Yeah,
I hope so. I just got to like bribe someone to take me now.
Yeah. Thing is, in the Midlands, you're kind of about as far away as you can be, really, aren't you?
We're just like smack bang in the middle.
Yeah.
And I was looking today because Barmouth is like the nearest sea to me, and it was just horrendous when it was coming over the top of the walls, and I'm thinking, you know, I'd still like to be by the sea, because you like to have that energy, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. It's the ions in the water, I think. Yeah, in the air, it's kind of it's just
definitely. Well, thank you so much, Mary. It's
Thank
been a
you very
really
much,
enjoyable
and thank you for
Friday night.
such a lovely, small but perfectly formed audience.
I know we didn't get everyone who signed
No,
up.
there's a few more
No,
signed up,
but
didn't they? But maybe other things happened, and Gin and
their
tonic
loss.
got poured, yeah, and they...
Their loss.
Yeah, but
So,
so
of
if
course,
anyone wants to, you know, yeah, hop onto my YouTube channel, please do, or contact me if you need to know anything about any other singing that I'm doing.
yeah, and please contact us on the Facebook page, Creativity After COVID. That was another thing. I couldn't put Creativity After COVID. I had to put Creativity After C19.
I wondered why you'd.
COVID was a banned word by Facebook. It's just like everything's political, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, any thoughts or comments or anything, please share them on our Facebook page. And we have to say thank you to the Arts Council England for supporting this project and allowing Mary to come and share all her knowledge and her beautiful voice. I can't do the high notes, Mary, like you. I am more like a tenor, I think, at the moment. I really don't know.
Yeah, there's a great thing on GarageBand actually that enables you to change your voice into a man's voice, so you can put it down an octave. So I always use that. You might have noticed it in the Breathe In one. There was a low voice, and so I could actually pitch it, because I know I'm aware of that when I'm working with male voices. I'm not singing at their pitch, and so so that I was able to accommodate that, which I can't in the rehearsal room. So that's been great. I actually turned myself into a man's voice.
weird, but
okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining in. It was really good. Thank you. Bye.